Hello, I'm Father John Hynes at St. Catherine of Siena Parish here in Wilmington, Delaware. Please excuse the dress-down garb. I'm in the middle of outside activities. We celebrate the Feast of the Holy Family. And in the Gospel, we hear the finding of the child Jesus in the temple. And it's so, in some ways, so true to the life of a human family. Jesus is 12, and by Jewish law, he is becoming a man, the bar mitzvah time. And yet he's still a boy. And yet that first step toward realizing his mission and his destiny comes out when his parents confront him and say, "Son, why have you done this to us?" He says, "Don't you understand? I should be in my Father's house." So he senses his calling. And yet he will go back with them and be obedient to them. What do we make of this? We all come from families, and yet our families take many different forms, more so today perhaps than ever. Yet we should think back to what the gospel tells us about Jesus' family. It was almost 3 full days before they realized he was missing, because they were with their relatives and friends in this big caravan going north. What does that say about cousins and second cousins and third cousins? Relatives in all directions. There must have been 100 or 200 people, mostly family and friends, on that caravan for Mary and Joseph not to realize he was missing. So we can, in a way, think in some societies still and in the world that has passed away, close relationships with cousins and beyond cousins was a common thing. Jesus probably called them his brothers and sisters. And we hear that echoed in the gospel. But our concern today is really, as with Hannah in the first reading, who gave her child up to serve God at the age of 8 or 9. Whose child is your child? Your child is your child and always will be, no matter what takes place, no matter what kind of separation, what kind of interval by death, family breakup, still your child. And yet, far more, it's God's child. And Mary and Joseph were finding that out very early. And they had had other encounters at the time of the presentation, which made them aware that somehow this child was not theirs in the full sense. And in fact, this is true for all of us. You give birth to a child, that child is yours more than anything else in this world can be yours. And yet, God will call that person, barring unusual circumstances, to a fulfillment in their adult life, where you will have to say, go and follow your destiny. And a day will come when, as the law of God says, they will honor their father and mother by caring for you in their old age. As children, we owe our parents obedience. As teenagers, young adults, we owe respect at all times. But when they become old and we're in the full bloom of life, we owe them support, care. But anyway, we look at Mary and Joseph with Jesus, and Hannah too, with her son Samuel. And we call to mind that this child is fully and completely God's. And the more that we acknowledge that the child is God's, the more the child becomes our own. That's what baptism does in a way. But if we go even farther and think to ourselves, as my life goes on, I have a clearer and clearer sense of who I am. But who knows who I truly am? I have some sense of it. Those who know me and love me have some sense of it, but only God. And so I can only, let's say, own my own life, only fully possess my own life in the good sense of the word, by giving it over to Jesus and to God. One died for all, therefore all died. So each of us must live for him who came and died for us. That's the mystery of our own existence, and by extension of our children's. The more we are God's possession, the more we become our own person. And that's contrary to so much that is said in today's society of rugged individualism and freedom to do whatever I want with my life. No, the more God's, the more my own. So too with our children. So God bless you. God bless all families. God bless all those who choose to live together as family, to care for one another.